तत्परं पर्याय विद्महे ज्ञानलिङ्गेश्वराय धीमहि तन्नो गुरुः प्रचोदयात्। ओम योग महर्षि डॉक्टर स्वामी गीतानंद गिरि गुरु महाराज की जय। Welcome to the 107th day of these sessions. We will be concluding them tomorrow with the 108th day and then see what comes next after that. I thought today that I will just give you a brief revision of many things. We have looked at some core foundational practices of the Gitaranda tradition, the Rishi culture, Ashtanga Yoga tradition as codified by Swamiji and given to him by his guru, Swami Kanakananda Bhrigu, who received it from his guru, Swami Vividishananda, who received from his guru, Swami Purnananda Bhrigu. A lineage that traces its path back to the great Maharishi Bhrigu himself, who is said to have given us the Atharvana Veda, the Veda that deals with what is today found in Tantra, the energy. Hence a tradition that has always looked at energy basis of the practices more than the physical basis. The importance has always been given to how the energy is utilized, how the energy is channelized, so that we can become the best vehicle for that energy to flow through us without distortion. We have looked in this series that is mostly available on YouTube in my account also. I think I've tried to upload all the videos whenever possible so that those who are not on Facebook can also access them. We have looked at practices like the Sukha Pranayama, where the breath is taken in and let out for an equal count. We have expanded that Sukha Pranayama into the Sukha Purvaka Pranayama, where the first component is the Sukha, equal in and out, then the Loma, the Viloma, and finally the square breathing, Sukha Purvaka. The Sukha, which could be seen like parallel lines, becoming a triangle, the downward pointing triangle when you breathe in, hold and breathe out, which is the Manipura, related to the fire element. And then the Viloma, which is the breathe in, breathe out, hold out, the upward pointing triangle that is here for the heart center and the Vayu Mandala. Both of these triangles interlacing into the six-pointed star, which is the Anahata logo, the Vayu Mandala. And then finally becoming the square, which is the Prithvi Mandala. Which is why when we do the Mandala Dharana, which is a very specific practice to the Gitaranda tradition, we go through the different mandalas, the sacred shapes, the shapes that are related to the five major elements and the mind. Square for the Mooladhara, you have the crescent moon for Swadhisthana, you have the red triangle, downward pointing triangle for the Manipura, you then have the six-pointed two interlaced triangles making a six-pointed star, the blue hexagon star for the Vayu Mandala and the Anahata. You have the Vishuddha, which is that oval, magenta oval or half white, half black oval. And then the beautiful round circle, or actually in 3 dimension a sphere, is the beautiful orange, which is the Manas Mandala. And each of these mandalas is focused on in the mandala pranayama, in the mandala dharana. And we always start with the second, swadhisthana. And that is why the Sukha pranayama is like that swadhisthana. The equal in and out that is creating that crescent moon. That is giving you the fluidity. You then come to the loma, which is the fire, 3. The viloma, 4. And then you come back to 1. So it's always 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6. This is the pattern in which the mandala is focused. And in the latest book that we have released, that my dear Jnanadev has compiled with beautiful illustrations by Deepika, and because of the amount of energy I put into it, I'm also a co-author. This has been brought in on Swara Yoga. The hard copies are not yet available, but you can get the e-book from the icvir.in site currently. In the Swara Yoga book, this has been brought out, these practices as part of the Swara. And the focus is always 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6. And interestingly, the phone number of Yoganjali Natyalayam is 2241561. It's very interesting for me, this 2241561. Initially, it was 23456 or something. It was very interesting that when we got our telephone number for Yoganjali, that we had a number that was similar to the way we do the Mandala Dharana. It's interesting. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was close enough. I was studying some biology with Divya this morning, and we were looking at the fact that 8.7 million species have been identified. 8.7 million species have been identified till date. And I said, this is just amazing that the culture here talks of 8.4 million species, each having its own asana. And science today says the current one is 8.7 million species. And it doesn't have to be exact. It's close enough because it's just astonishing that thousands of years ago, you have this number 8.4 million coming in as the number of species. And today we are talking of 8.7 million. Now, maybe in another 100 years, we'll find it is more. We don't know. But it's just interesting when these things come together. So when we do the Sukha Purvaka Pranayama, we are working through these mandalas also. 2, 4, 5, 1. 2, 4, 5, 1 is the pattern that is coming in there and giving great stability. We have looked at the Savitri Pranayama in great detail. In fact, many of the things that I have shared over the last 107 days, including today, are things that I have not really actually shared in too many places. And some of the senior teachers of our tradition have wondered whether I'm doing the right thing. And I never do anything if I don't consider it right. It has to feel right for me organically, otherwise I don't do it. And during this lockdown, during the time that people have been locked up, I felt that there is the need to share these teachings, and something has been pushing me, propelling me forward for this. And it's not about self-promotion, it's not about money, it's not about fame, it's just a desire to share. Because for me, through sharing, we can care, we can help each other. And I think helping each other at this point in human history is more important than making money or becoming famous, or I don't know what people want. I was telling someone the other day about people now having masks that are gold masks and diamond embedded masks. I'm like, seriously, you guys, even when you die, you want your coffin to be gold. It's weird, but we are so stuck on this quantification of everything. I think the number of people who have benefited through this and the way I have benefited is worth it all. So, it's not about finding more students. It's not about finding more students because that's not the goal of this parampara at all. The goal of this parampara is to share with love gratitude and reverence. So Savitri Pranayama, we have looked in detail how each of the thala, what happens when you do the Savitri at 2-1-2-1, what happens when it is 4-2-4-2, what happens to the 6-3, which all of you know is my favorite, and then the 8-4, which as you know is was Swamiji's favorite, then the 10-5, the 12-6, and the 14-7, and then finally the 16-8, the Siddha rhythm, where if you are doing 16, 16-8, 16-8, that's basically about 48 counts for one breath, which means 3 breaths in 2 minutes. You really slow down your whole system. You go into that hypometabolic state, which is what animals do when they hibernate. And we have then gone on to understand Savitri Pranayama's role in the Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga Prakriyas. We have looked at the practice of the Anuloma Viloma. We have seen how the energy flows of the prana and the apana, how they can be understood, how they can be experienced, and how the sense of beautiful polarity, balancing the opposites. Balancing the opposites is where you transcend them. And Dvandva Thita is the concept which is so important, that we go beyond the opposites. Dvandva Thita, which is actually the nature of the Guru spirit itself, as said in the Guru Stotra. Dvandva Thitam, Triguna Rahitam. It's a very beautiful concept of going beyond the Dvandva. That is what asana is, a state where you have transcended the dualities. Mana, Apamana, Shita, Ushna, all of these, the prana and the apana. Which is why in the Gita, when they talk of offering the prana into the apana and the apana into the prana, this is what is happening in the Anuloma Viloma. We have seen that. I would have wished to have also gone into the Yoga Nidra, but that may come at a different stage, because we need some time to go into what really Yoga Nidra is. The modern version is what we have been doing as Marmanastanam Kriya is what many teach as Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is something much deeper, because it's related to the polarity again with the universe. We have looked into detail about the alternate nostril breathing, the Surya and the Chandra pranayamas. We have looked at the Loma Viloma, the Anuloma Viloma. We have looked at how the Surya Vedana, the Chandra Vedana can come into it, and how when you work on the right nostril, you are working with the left brain, left nostril, right brain. We have seen this type of beautiful correlation that is coming, creating a sense of harmonious balance between the right and the left. The right brain is that which is related to the qualitative aspects. That is why I say the right brain is Saraswati and the left brain is Lakshmi. If you ever have confusion, L for left and L for Lakshmi, you will not get confused then. The left brain for Lakshmi, it is the quantitative aspect, the materialistic aspect that we are searching, the left brain. And that is why the right nostril is so related to the left brain, where the effects come. And then you have the left nostril related to the right brain. Again, we have discussed some of these concepts in the Swara Yoga book, which I highly recommend. And those interested in a basic understanding of the Yoga Nidra in this tradition, there is a guided relaxation I have done of Yoga Nidra on YouTube, and also the yogic approach to stress, in which I have detailed this as part of the practices. All of these books are available on the icvaya.in site, and those in India, you can write to me an email and I'll tell you the way the Indian payment mode can be done, because the website is primarily aimed for people outside India. Coming back, the concept of spinal health was taken forward with a series, and we have looked at how all the vertebrae have to work together. We have looked at different practices for the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulders, the neck. A great amount of time I have spent on the Brahma Mudra, which to me is one of the most amazing practices, because when you do the Brahma Mudra, you are expanding your perspective psychologically. You are working on the neck, You are creating a harmony between the body, the breath, and the mind happening at the same time. You are using the Bija mantras, the A, U, E, and the Ikara Nada. Akara, Ukara, Ikara, and Makara. The Ikara related to the higher cosmic centers. These cosmic centers which are related, those centers, the Bija is the E, Ikara. So that is why the pineal gland and its connection to the cosmic centers, the Anda chakras, it is the Ikara. That is why if you want to work on these, a very beautiful way is the mantra japa of the sound of E with a at the end. I have been talking about this, how Shanti should become Shantam. Santosha becomes Santosham. When you put that then Makara at the end, you are refining it. You are making it more tranquil. You are not allowing it to end abruptly. Shanti ends. It ends. Shanti. Santosha. Santosh. Whereas Santosham. Shantam. That is why in South India, even we use the term yogam, asanam, pranayamam, dhyanam. Very beautiful, because then that is a state of continuity that is there. Very beautiful state of continuity. So this E that we do, when you want to take it to another level, it becomes Eem, Eem, It's a very beautiful way to connect to the pineal gland, the relationship with the Sahasrara, and the Sahasrara as the first of the 6 cosmic centers, the Anda chakras. So that type of relationship is there. We have looked at the Shat Chakra Pranayama, the Shat Chakra Pranayama, where we are going up and down the spine using the Savitri Pranayama and coming in for 6, holding for 3, going down. It's a very beautiful elevator of consciousness happening there. The mind as the elevator of consciousness. That is what we are doing there. And then finally going in and experiencing what then becomes a chakra dhyana. So chakra pranayama leads to chakra dharana, that leads to chakra dhyana. So the process is you start with the pranayama. So this moving up and down the spine with the practice. So we have done that practice also. We have looked at the different bastrikas of the Gitananda tradition. The Nasarga Bastrika, Nasarga Mukha Bastrika, the Mukha Bastrika. We have looked at the Anunasika, which is the nasal cleansing practice, which is the atomic breath. And we have also led into the Gitananda tradition version of Nadi Shodhana and Nadi Shuddhi, where contrary to the usual left in, right out, right in, left out, which is commonly practiced as Nadi Shuddhi, Nadi Shodhan, Anulom Vilom, synonymous, they are using it. Here the practice we saw was breathing in the right and out the left, which is more a Surya Bedana. But what we do is that we are working on going from a slow count. So you start at say an 8-4, becomes a 6-3, 4-2, 2-1, then 1-1, and then going as fast as possible. So it's a... This is the Nadi Shodhan part where you are cleansing, and then you start the Nadi Shuddhi part, which is going slower. So from that rapid fire, multiple breaths, we start to slow down to 1-1-1-1, and then it becomes a 2-1, then a 4-2, then a 6-3, an 8-4, a 10-5, a 12-6, and then we take it, if possible, all the way up to the 16-8. But as far, so making the practice a rapid breathing and then slowing it down, where the gross cleansing and the subtle cleansing, the Sthula and the Sukshma, are both done together. We have looked at that in the Nadi Shodhan, Nadi Shuddhi concept of the Gitananda tradition. We have also then looked extensively in the Bindus. I think one of, again, the practices, concepts that we have discussed is the Bindu, a concept that is very, very deep to me, and later on one of the courses I may organize online is related to the bindus and a deep sadhana there, because these are concepts that are missing. We have not understood that there are these amazing focal points of consciousness that can then open up the whole universal consciousness to us. It is like, it is the doorway through which you connect to the universal consciousness itself. It is a aperture, as we said, the bindu as the aperture between the nada and the kala. The nada is the unmanifest, the kala is the manifest. The kala is the drama, the manifest drama of life. And the nada is that which is the unmanifest. And the bindu is the aperture, it is the opening that lies between the unmanifest and the manifest, connecting them. And as we said, at the Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha intersection, which is why there is such an importance of the choice. You are choosing to focus on something, that bindu, which is then a bija. We have said that bija, the bindu is a bija, a seed that then can awaken the potential for the universal consciousness that is there in us. The Vedic teachings is that every individual is potentially divine. This was rephrased by Swami Vivekananda, who said every soul is potentially divine. The Vedas give us the Maha Mantra, Tattvamasi, thou art that. It tells you, Aham Brahmasmi. We can understand that we are that highest consciousness of the universe itself. We are the universe actually. We are the universe in human form. Makes you feel good when you are down in the dumps to know that you are the universe in human form. You are the ocean in a drop. That type of experience is what you are looking at. Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahmam. My Atma is the Brahman. And Prajnanam Brahman, that Prajna, that highest cosmic source of wisdom, the transcendental source of universal wisdom, Prajna. That Prajna is what it's all about. And you are elevating yourself to that Prajna Loka so that omniscience becomes part and parcel of your very nature. And omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence, these are qualities of divinity. When you are totally in the present moment, you are omnipresent. Omnipresent. You are present in the Om. The Om is the now. That is why we looked at the Pranava. The Pranava, as Patanjali so beautifully tells us in his Yoga Sutras. Tasya vachakah pranavah tajjabah tadartabhavanam. Such a beautiful concept that the Pranava as that vibration of the universe and the closest human approximation we can make to it. And how in the Gitananda tradition, this is not just kept in the mind but brought down into the practice when we do the Pranava Pranayama, where we use the different mudras. And I have gone into great detail about the importance of the Chin Mudra, the Chinmaya Mudra, the Adi Mudra, and then the Brahma Mudra or Mahat Yoga Mudra, how they come together. And how then when you are bringing that Akara, Ukara, Makara, creating that Omkara, what you are doing is bringing every bit and piece of you together. All the pieces are being brought back together. There is a very beautiful anabolism. You could call it a universal anabolism happening at that point. That is the spiritual transformation, where all the pieces start to come together. That is what the Pranava does. All the pieces related to the lower level, the physical level, the Sthula, are brought together. All the pieces related to the Sukshma are brought together, the subtle, and then all come together in the causal, the Karana, the Linga Sharira. So the Sthula Sharira, your physical embodiment, your Sukshma Sharira, your subtle embodiment, can come together in the causal embodiment where we become all one. We stop being alone. We stop feeling lonely. We stop feeling sad for ourselves. We start feeling down and we start to come together. Because in that state of coming together, there's that state of all one. And that all oneness is the true state of our being. That unity in diversity rather than diversity in unity. Putting all the pieces together, that is where Yujjate Anena Iti Yogaha comes alive in your life. The pieces that are there of the body, the pieces of the mind, the pieces of the emotions, the pieces of all your experiences are all brought together. The jigsaw puzzle pieces all come together and suddenly you see what that reality is. And you suddenly realize that Satchit Anandam is what we are. And then you realize that auspiciousness, that pure state of transcendental oneness is what we are. And then enjoy. Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Shivoham, 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 Soham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham, Sajjidananda, Swarupoham. And you realize that oneness, where that Sat, that Chit, and that Anandam are what you are, what we are. A beautiful, blissful moment where that drop truly realizes it is the ocean. When we, as an individual, realize we are truly the universal. When we, as the Jivatma, realize we are the Paramatma. That's enough for today. We'll come together tomorrow and see what is in store as the final day of this series of 108, a very sacred number, a number that signifies 4 cycles of 27, and each of those cycles having 3 cycles of 9 within them, which are having 3 cycles of 3 within them. A very amazing state where it all comes together. The end of something, but then nothing ever ends because energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. And so I may not be doing these morning sessions with the 108 completed, but something else will open up. So I'll keep you posted because there's no way I can keep to myself and not share. There's no way I can keep to myself and say that it will only be available to some people and not to others. As someone said, you're putting all of this out there. Don't you think it will be misused? Don't you think people who don't deserve it will get it? I'm like, they will not even know it exists. And even if they come in, they'll find me too boring and they'll go out. And even if they are listening to me, they're not going to hear what I have to say. So things are going to be safe because only those who are ready for it will perceive it. Those who are not ready will just see that Dr. Ananda looks funny today and they'll go on the way. And God bless them. God bless the heart. Love you all too much. Namaste.